Greetings, everybody. I am Lobo, and welcome to Luna. This is episode 226 of my Minecraft survival series, and in the last episode, we finished up work on the espionage and regional reconnaissance operations research site over here in the quarantine district of Wolfen's Laboratory. Now, surprisingly, the error site has been less than successful in helping us to achieve our goal of locating the old ones. But a lack of information is still information, right? Because if we think of it this way, if we're looking at all these places in the overworld in the end and we're not seeing them, well, it stands to reason they might be in one of these areas that are just static on our map screens, right? These places are located in the Nether, and the Nether is notoriously difficult to map. So, in a way, we may have unintentionally narrowed down the location of the Temple of Ascension, narrowed down the location of the old ones to somewhere in the Nether. Now, the Nether is a big place, and I'm not sure how we can narrow it down any further without actually setting foot in the Nether and, just having a peek around. I mean, Wolford has some ideas, but they are just ideas at this point. And this seems to happen every October. I mean, it seems every October we find ourselves heading into the Nether. It's kind of a theme here, I guess. And I can't help but remember that when we were here last year, I didn't really finish the project I had set out to do, and one of the chief things I set out to do was to extend the Madhouse to all the areas of the Nether that we would want to have access to at this point. We haven't, I don't think, added any more areas since then, but the Madhouse does come to a sudden and abrupt stop over here by our Nether branch mines, by the Law Nether Outpost and our Soul Sand Valley, but we do access this area way down here occasionally for our mining mesa, for the mushroom biome and stuff like that, and it would be nice to have, a quicker route over there. So, we're going to be extending the Madhouse today. I'm wondering if, I've left any resources from last year anywhere nearby, or if we're gonna have to collect them. I mean, if we do have to collect them, it's no big deal. We just need to get some dark oak, right? Because we have plenty of spruce, we have plenty of cyan terracotta, and oh boy, do we have plenty of stone for the stone bricks. So I think dark oak would probably be the main thing we need to be on the lookout for here. So, yeah, let me just go ahead and have a look around real quick, and then I will let you know what we're doing next. And if I know past Lobo, he didn't leave me any dark oak to continue on, so I'm guessing we're probably going to be harvesting some dark oak. Yeah, we're going to be harvesting some dark oak. So, as I recall, there was a dark oak forest area somewhere over this way, and I know we were harvesting trees over from this area before, and we're going to continue on with that project today. Yeah, I think right over here, there's a dark oak. And I believe right over here is where we were doing a bit of resource gathering at some point in the past. So we should be good to go at this point, and we have plenty of dark oak to choose from. A lot of it, in fact. We're not going to be harvesting all of this. Like, we're not going all the way to the witch hut over there. You can see Wharf in the distance. Now, I just want a few shulker boxes full. I think that should be fine. That should hold us over for a while. So let's go ahead and call Didi on over here, put on a little bit of music, and get to work. Welcome back, everybody, and we do have a pretty good amount of dark oak now. Enough for today's project, and hopefully enough to hold us over for at least a little while. I did end up putting some creeper holes in the ground over here, and owie, end up running into a tree several times, in fact. But yes, I did end up putting some creeper holes in the ground because I think last time we were over here, we harvested during the daytime, but, you know, there's higher stakes now. Time is of the essence, so we just went through the nights here in this dark forest to get what we needed to get. And let me go ahead and show you what we got from that. As you can see, we got a total of like 5 and some change shulker boxes worth of dark oak, plus some extras over here. So yeah, pretty good overall. Plenty more dark oak here if we need it, but I don't think we will for a while anyway. So let me go ahead and get some of my stuff together, get it moved over to the project site, and we'll talk about what we're going to be doing next. And timber! There we go. That was so satisfying. Yeah, we're not going to head straight to the Madhouse. We're not heading straight into the Nether right yet to work on today's project because, well, I got word from Wolfred. You remember earlier we talked about Wolfred had some ideas as to how we could track the old ones in the Nether? Well, he's got a couple projects that he's working on, and I'm going to head over to Wolfen's laboratory and help him out with those for a little bit. I think Luna's this way, right? So one of these projects is, you know, pretty simple. Wolfred can handle that on his own, very technological. He doesn't need my expertise in that because I have none. Another project is going to be a little bit more in-depth, and we will be helping him out, try to plan some stuff out there. So we are heading back to where we started this video, Wolfen's Lab's Quarantine District. Now, as far as my responsibilities go, well, I need to figure out the layout of the quarantine district here, try to figure out where the production facilities are going to go, where the testing facilities are going to go for all this new technology that Wolfred is developing. And I guess, probably the first thing I should do is just kind of draw out the stuff that we know is going to go in certain places. That way, we can figure out how we're going to be building off from here, right? Figure out how we're going to connect up some of these places, because I did not give that nearly enough thought. So, I mean, let me go ahead and give you my thoughts as of now. Now, be aware, this layout is subject to change, and probably will change, because when I do layouts, I tend to contradict myself fairly often. But we could have our potion area kind of lead out into this room right here, whatever this is going to be in the future. And we could easily have this connect up to this middle area right here. That does seem to make sense. We do have a lot of area over here that we're going to need access to. And we could probably just poke out of the diagonal of this, right? And that could be another way to get through here without having to go through the quarantined hub. You know me, I like easy access or multiple ways to access a lot of areas. I don't know about this. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't do the layout on camera. No, I'm going to do the layout on camera. That's what I'm doing for a big portion of this video, is trying to figure out the layout of the quarantine district. So we'll do this on camera, but I'm not going to talk about the layout until we actually have the layout down and I know what it's going to look like. Otherwise, I'm just going to end up confusing you and myself and probably that zombie, which shouldn't be here. So let's go figure out where that guy is. We can talk about this zombie for a minute. That's what we can talk about. What are you doing, huh? You shouldn't be here. Where did you come from? You know this is private property, right? No trespassing? Under penalty of death? Oh, he was already dead, so, I mean, no big deal for him. Zombie, after all. Okay, jumping forward a little bit, I actually have some sections of the layout that I am happy with, so let me go ahead and introduce you to those. So coming out of the potions area, we are going to actually go through a corridor that's going to lead us into the side of this room. We're going to have openings on all the sides of this room rather than on the diagonals, because I think that's going to look much better once it comes time to actually build this place up, right? And we are going to make use of these circles throughout the quarantine district, just like we have, beneath these towers. Now, these circles aren't going to be towers like this. They're not going to go up, that tall or anything, but we are going to kind of maintain that same feel, that same theme to try to keep everything cohesive here. Now, do I know what each of these areas is actually going to be used for in the future? No, I do not. I know what some of them are going to be used for in the future. Can't talk about a lot of the potential technologies that are going to be coming out of Wolfen's labs, though. But I can tell you that there's some exciting stuff that Wolfred's working on. One of those things being the leap system, which we will talk about in the near future, I'm hoping, once Wolfred has kind of figured out how we're going to be implementing this new and very exciting technology. Now, it's not all about function, it's also about form, you know, since I'm involved in this and I have been accused in the past of putting form over function. Hello? We'll, check that out in just a minute. But yeah, I'm thinking we could have like kind of a raised area, like on the outside of our main circle here, like outside of the creeper farm area. And I'm thinking that might be good for aesthetics. You know, we could plant some foliage around here, just kind of make it look a little bit nicer. That way it's not so cold in here, right? But before we talk any more about that, and we're not going to be building that today, I need to figure out what all this noise is. Hi. Y'all shouldn't be here with stuff that's not yours. I don't know why you have that, but you gotta put it down. That actually belongs to Wolfen's Labs. Again, private property. Y'all should know the rules by now. Hey, listen, I ain't here to play games, Mr. Pillager. I ain't playing this game to play games. I ain't playing hide and seek with you. If you're not gonna show yourself, then I'm just gonna keep doing what I was doing. Anyway, as I was saying, this is gonna be a raised area for some aesthetic purpose, and I'm not working on it today, even though it looks like I am. I'm just kind of putting some dirt down right now just so I can, you know, hopefully remind myself in the future that's what I want to do here because, you know, it's me. It might be a long time before we actually get around to, you know, building this up. I keep getting sidetracked and distracted. I'm supposed to be trying to locate a good place for the LEAP system here. LEAP, by the way, stands for Light Enhancing Apparatus Prototype, which is something Wolfred's going to be working on to kind of help us see stuff we wouldn't normally be able to see, which I think would greatly come in handy trying to locate these old ones in the Nether. I'm thinking maybe over here in the far end would probably be a good place for it, yeah? Yep, it's settled. The LEAP production and testing area is going to be right here. And I think that's where we're going to stop with drawing out the layout for today because, you know, I only know what a few of these areas are going to be. I don't know what else we're going to need over here, what Wolfen's Labs is going to need over here in the quarantine district. So it'd probably be best to hold off on, you know, planning out anything else until we know what we actually need, right? But I mean, we do have a direction now. We do have an idea of what this place is going to look like, or at least I do. I kind of know what I want to do here a little bit, so that's going to help us out in the future. Now, the LEAP system is just one of the systems, one of the ideas Wolfred had. I did say he had multiple ideas, and he is actually working on another project right now, which hopefully we'll get a peek at by the end of this episode, but since we do have a little bit of time to kill since he's not quite ready yet, I'm thinking we go ahead and make our way back to the Madhouse and finish up what we should have finished up a long time ago there. So at this point, I think we do have everything that we're going to need, hopefully, and as far as the project goes, well, we talked about it earlier in this episode. This has been an ongoing project that we've been working on for quite a while. You know what it is. So, let's go ahead and call Dee Dee on over to the site, put on a little bit of music, and get to work. Welcome back, everybody. Guess what? The Madhouse is done. Because this is as far as we've expanded it so far. I mean, it will get bigger in the future, obviously, with newer unexplored areas we'll want to leak up, but we'll do that somewhere else, not over here. Like, this is really far away where our mushroom biome is. This is super far away from Luna. Requires a ton of travel to actually get over here, which is why I've kind of raised up my ceilings by a half block throughout the corridors. So that way we can not only run on our Soulspeed pathways, but also just fly if we want to get somewhere a little bit quicker, because now I have the actual headroom to do that. I mean, I don't see myself using the elytra to get around the Nether too often, but it's nice to have the option, you know? So this is obviously our mesa area. We do have some storage off to the sides of some of these rooms, which will probably get taken out in case we decide to expand in that direction. But again, this is really far out here, so that is unlikely. If we do need to expand, we'll do it from somewhere else, but I'm happy. I'm happy we finally got this taken care of, and it's really nice being able to kind of zoom through here. I mean, for the most part, I'll probably end up just using the pathways, so I don't use up all my rockets. Depends on if the durability is low on my boots or something. I might fly. If I need to get somewhere in a hurry, I might fly, but for the most part, we'll travel as usual. Now, at some point in the future, I may come through here and kind of raise the ceilings in these other areas of the Madhouse. That way we can fly through here, these previously constructed areas. Because while I can technically fly, it is, sometimes painful to do so. But, yeah, I'm not worried about that right now. We'll get around to it eventually, maybe. Now, note to self, and also a courtesy to future Lobo, I am storing the dark oak right here at the entrance to our Nether storage area. So if future Lobo complains about me not leaving resources for him, you can tell him that I left him right here and he's just super unobservant, okay? All right. Now, before we end off this episode, Wolfred has sent word that he has finished up his dump prototype. And we are going to need some copper if we are going to be building these dump systems in the Nether. We don't have a whole lot of copper, but hopefully we have enough to do what we need to do today. Now, dump stands for dimensionally unrestricted messaging panels, and these dimensionally unrestricted messaging panels are going to work in conjunction with our dimensionally unrestricted receiver panels in order to kind of help us figure out what's going on in certain areas of the Nether that we can't figure out by using our maps and stuff. Now, Wolfred has constructed a prototype that he left for me right here. Ah, this is it. Okay, well, seems simple enough to put together. He's got all the components ready for me, and I have all the copper needed to wire it up. And we're going to be distributing these bad boys throughout the Nether in the Madhouse to hopefully keep an eye on what's going on in the Nether beneath the Madhouse in all those areas that I, don't really like to travel to myself due to some bad experiences that I would really prefer not to talk about right now. So we'll go ahead and place our first dump panel right here in the courtyard of the Madhouse, and we'll kind of space them out, as far as we can. And yeah, I mean, it is kind of an eyesore, but then again, what here isn't, right? And I mean, I'm thinking with the dump panels in here, with the dirt panels back in Wolfen's labs, and with the forthcoming leap system, we probably do have a pretty good chance of finding the old ones if they are, in fact, anywhere here in the Nether. And this is the last of our dump panels now in, and hopefully those dump panels enable us to kind of keep an eye on what's happening here in the Nether, perhaps even locate the Temple of Ascension. I gotta say though, I'm hoping it's not in the Nether, because to be honest with you, I am ready to get out of here. If we don't have to come back to the Nether until next October, I will be very, very happy. But I mean, what are the chances of that, right? Oh boy, I was gonna say fresh air. But since we left the Nether, which smells a lot like sulfur, but this area does also smell a lot like sulfur due to all the corruption and stuff, so not such a big improvement, but hey, at least it's not as hot and humid here. But I do think that's what we're gonna call it for today. Hopefully Wolfen's Labs is able to turn up something. Hopefully we can get these issues resolved as soon as possible, but that's gonna be it for us today, guys. Oh, look at me. Still wearing my hard hat, still in construction mode. That's going to be it for us today. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, please be sure to hit that little thumbs up button. That would mean a whole lot to me. And if you want to see more, please remember to subscribe. But as always, I just want to thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I deeply appreciate it. And until next time, I am Lobo, and I will see you guys later.